If you want, don't hold back, because.
I'm enjoying this, so I'm just.
But I think a lot of the performance stuff, knowing you were coming, I intentionally didn't hit on a lot of performance things. There's those aspects of what you were just saying are going to make a big difference.
Let's hit something here too. We're getting stuck on this howl with the wind thing, and we're not moving.
Stuck?
Howl like the wind. It's just all hands are up and they're going kind of like this. And when you're thinking of a howling wind, it has more sway. It doesn't stop and then go to a second level.
The movement is getting stuck.
Correct. So if we could put some wind into that wind, watch it.
That's really why I didn't like sitting
That's
there.
right.
At this point, any words that I say, I just wait to find out what Colin's going to do.
That's right. That's right. But just, we want to keep it very simple, it's a little contrived in parts right now, and when it's not, it is really, really good. So let's make sure.
Okay.
Should we maybe go back to the beginning and give him some context and?
Well, it'd be a good review for us too, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of see how much.
Brian mentioned something about the howl too. He actually, maybe because we were too robotic with it.
Yeah.
He went wow.
Yeah, I think that you can put even more howl into it. It doesn't kind of get stuck.
That makes sense.
Stuck physically.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number
41.
Number 41. Cooling Classic!
I like it better when Theo was singing.
Johnny could only sing one note, and the note he sang was this. Sing, Johnny, sing your note way out loud. Oh, poor Johnny, one note sang out with gusto and just overloaded love. What a praise! Poor Johnny, one note yelled willy-nilly until he was blue in the face. For holding one note was his wise. Couldn't hear the brass, couldn't hear the drum. Dum-dum-dum-dum. He was in a class by himself. I come. Poor Johnny, one note got in Ida. Indeed, a great chance to be really great. And he took his one note and howled like the north wind, brought forth wind that made critics. Oh, the critics rave while Verdi turned round in his grave, his grave. No, they couldn't hear the big trombone. Everyone was mute, and Johnny stood alone. Oh, if only Johnny could sing like this. Poor Johnny, one note he would sing out with gusto, yelled willy-nilly till he was blue in the face. But what if Johnny could sing with some energy? Johnny One Note could only sing one note, but he certainly could sing this way. Jonathan single note, Jonathan single note, singing his heart out on only a single note. It's such a tragedy that he could never sing multiple notes from the scale like me. La 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 la. It's such a tragedy that he could never sing multiple notes from the scale like me. La 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 la. But poor Johnny One Note could only sing his note, but sang it above all the crowd. So sing Johnny One Note, sing out with gusto, just sing your heart out and be proud. Sing out loud, so sing Johnny One Note, sing your one note. Sing Johnny, sing Johnny, sing Johnny, sing Johnny, sing your magical note. Johnny, sing your note.
Wanna sing another song after?
Yes.
Yes.
Alan, on your solo, what's your thought process on
I guess not.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Thought we were ready. We were mentally preparing for the other.
I couple things. Nothing solidified, which is clearly why I asked. So I think about how I set it up in the movement.
that was good.
Yep, I specifically am trying to, like what is in Bartersville. Like that's kind of what I think. And about trying to lament everything that we've been telling about this guy, the things he can't do, but then have a few moments like, it's too bad he can't do this.
Yep,
And
I'd like to see more of that.
okay,
I'd like to see you having
more.
absolute fun in the most delightfully arrogant way.
Sure.
Yeah, just more of that.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Much better. Oh, Matt.
Again.
I think the travel comes a half a measure later.
When he goes back or when he comes out?
When he goes back.
Okay.
Because doesn't he have a gusto on that?
Yeah.
Have the gusto pull him over. Like, right, because that's the one that has duration and interest. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biggest portamento you could do.
Yeah.
So Aida, is that the
Did you hear that?
slave?
You think so?
Girl?
Use the
Oh,
gusto
yeah.
to pull you back into the quartet.
Catch me back up on Aida's
Gusto and
theme.
then
What's the
say-
plot? I'm just not familiar enough with it.
Aida.
Plot?
I mean, his part's not from Aida.
Right.
So that, yeah, so we got 3 references to opera.
So Aida died, but his 2 nephews took him to the beach house.
No, that's Weekend at Verdi's. I'm just,
Now you guys are talking my language.
That was well put.
It was.
Matt, come back.
We need the libretto
I wonder
for
if,
Aida.
I wonder if there's something in character of Aida or simply generic opera to the non-unknowing,
Sure.
that when mentioning Aida, you can add just that much more attitude to it. That gets us kind of in that space, which then it makes more sense when you get truly cranking over here later. But a little foreshadowing in that little section than
God
to
in
talk about.
Aida.
I suggested trying, when you do the cross back over, by the way, coming out was great. It seems like you're, it seems like you got back early compared to what the music says.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
If gusto can pull you that way. Yeah. Because if we play the song too hard, it doesn't have a chance to have all the play that, who is this, Wessler, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Put into it. And there's a lot of play in here, so let's turn the knobs both ways. And so was asking Alan to just have more arrogant fun when the section when he's talking about, oh, this is so easy for me, you know, before he goes and turns it back on again. But it's in a good shape.
Yeah, the poor Johnny. That's the Vesti La Juba aria, the sad clown character, right? So I think we had discussed, and my thinking is I'm not going like full in all like sad clown.
Right.
But we're kind of comparing Johnny to the sad clown.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, but I think being a little bit more arrogant with it and just kind of showing
Yeah.
with it.
Well, it's a showpiece, so let's show. Last little bit, you're gonna have to look at the videos. You are getting here a lot with both hands, and they're quick, and they're kind of fighting every great thing that's going on up here.
Okay.
And then you're also kind of on a 2 steps forward, 2 step back thing. So you keep coming in and out of the quartet, but in that same spot. So it's just like, it's just part of the movement vocabulary that you just gotta learn more just in that vocabulary.
Okay.
I'd like to see maybe less of this, but when we get operatic on something, big Wagnerian gesture, nothing nice about it. But I don't want to say I didn't have great expectations for this, but I didn't hear what you were hearing the last time I heard it. And now I see it, and it's making a lot more sense. I mean, you didn't know it well at the time. You know it well enough, but this could be a lot of fun. So that's all I have for that.
Gotta add a change up to the repertoire.
Yeah.
The bass parts was
So kind of your overall comments are just more kind of arrogant fun
Yeah.
in lots of different places.
Have fun with it. It's this earlier, slower, longer motion, so that when I'm thinking of the stereotype of something operatic, if it's not, it is these grand sweeping gestures with a lot of length to them. And if you contrast that with a ba do ba da do da da da, we'll see more of the contrast too. And we're paying the audience off for what they think they know about opera. A little bit.
What they think they know from like Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
But is this not like
Should we do
such
that?
a
Yeah.
piece? Like this piece fits in
Well,
Looney Tunes.
What did Dan write in the with apologies to the estates?
Yep.
That's
Well,
my
so wait,
favorite
I'm
part
up
of
to
the
the score
score.
first.
How does the look and feel during Alan's solo when the other three of us buffoons are just standing there like this, kind of bobbing around?
I like it.
Yeah.
That was one other thing. Get in the habit when you're checking in with each other of actually looking in each other's eyeballs, because we're getting kind of these cheats where I'm you could tell when I'm looking at somebody and when I'm looking at their button, and we're getting a mix of both, and it's just right when you look directly at somebody and register that back and forth. And you're choosing the right times to do it, like when you do have travel and such. But just make sure that it's genuine and hey, I'm there for you, buddy. Let's talk a little more about Johnny.
You correct me if I'm wrong. I think I could still have a lot more of you out.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be great.
Turned into the quartet most of the time, and then when you're singing to the audience, you're singing to them like this.
Yep.
So, like, all the time. Like, hey, I'm singing to you. Can you tell? So it's
I'm not gonna risk much.
beginning.
I'm not gonna risk much, but I'm singing to you.
I can still see you. I'm singing to you. You're right there. I see you. So I think a little more of like it's not. What's that?
He overachieved. He is a notorious anti-cupper. Now that's all he does.
Well, on stage it'll be different, I'm sure. That's a stage habit of mine that I definitely in different spaces. Plus, I'm trying to follow, be late a lot.
Yeah, so if like straight in at the quartet, like the audience is over there, is 90 degrees, and like then straight flat out at the audience is 0, live somewhere in the 20 to 30 range. So somewhat turned in, but mostly out to the audience. And then the moments where you do come into the quartet had more strength to them and more interest because you're traveling farther to get to that connection moment. And then it's clear when you travel back out to the audience again. Whereas right now you're just kind of living in this like 60 to 80
Yeah.
degree range.
And honestly, that is, a lot of that is confidence level in the sync stuff,
Yeah.
at this point, so.
Your mother handing the quartet.
Yeah.
But the result, as we found, is that you tend to be the one who's a little bit late on stuff. So out. Let them screw it up.
Or let me
You
screw
took
it
a
up.
tag.
No, it's not, sometimes it's
Right.
not right or wrong, it's just.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, yeah, that feeling will help a lot too. When you're on your melody, the enunciation on the
Tragedy and multiple.
yeah, all of that is coming across really great. The line right after we've got Jonathan sing one note, Jonathan sing one note.
Singing his heart out on only a single note.
That's a hard line for us to understand.
So I should just do a
whole
go crazy
thing
on
is
diction and say
full
something.
on.
Okay, I get it.
Because
Yeah.
that
We'll
line
try
is
and
still
pull back the tempo too. So, because I felt like it was rushing a little bit there, I'm like, he's got way too many words to rush through this.
yeah.
So I was like, trying
But he certainly couldn't sing this. Jonathan sing, Jonathan sing. I started, you guys come in like 2 minutes later, so I'll just settle.
What you might do is, in your practice, find what the tempo has to be for the words to be clear. Kind of like the fastest you can with clarity,
Yep.
and then that's going to be where it settles.
So, Mike, after the big opera section, getting back into Johnny,
Right.
how did you feel, number one, about that transition, and then kind of the ongoing journey of the story from there to the tag?
I thought it was pretty good, pretty cohesive.
Okay.
I was gonna ask though, and I forgot to do this earlier. That one just kind of started. What is the thought before the start? From Dear John or Dear Mom. What is that thought before you start singing? I don't have an answer, but I don't know that you do either. And taking just a little bit more time prior to that, and not really kind of excusing our way into it, and then we're rocking by the fourth measure or something. But, so what are the first lines? Does it just start up pour? What is the first words?
Oh,
Are we talking about the beginning?
Waving it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right beginning.
From the edge. So, my thought was,
Unison.
Johnny could only sing one note, and the note he sang was this.
but you said like what was our
Yeah.
thought before we start? I think what we're kind of going for is we have this story about this singer you won't believe. Like he can only do this one thing. But we're talking to people that like know music. Like they know singing. And so it's kind of an unbelievable story. Like you've never heard someone that can only sing one note.
I would take any answer as long as it's uniform.
As long as we all sell that story.
Because it happens so often. It happens so often. Had to slow after hours down on that kind of thing. You got one of those notes of the 4 songs I judged of you, and you might even guess which one it is. But it's just like, I just put down.
It's the one we didn't know how to start.
I like something like, especially if the quartet's down good enough that we can have that conversation. Weren't ready. Just, we weren't quite ready to start the song here because we didn't have that unified theme, or as unified as could be.
I like your description there, Alan. That was really well put. You know, like we're telling a story you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
This guy Johnny,
Did
he
we
could
see
only
that?
say one note. It was
Since the
great.
beginning of it.
Yeah, can we see?
Yeah.
Can we
And that's,
see-
I think the biggest part of it is that you will not believe
Yeah.
this.
And you did it, and he did it. It's like the faces are different than what we saw. So this, you would not believe this might be something.
Cooling cousin!
Now you already know.
You back! Yeah.
Wait till I hear the story.
Johnny could only sing one note, and the note he sang was this. Sing, Johnny, sing your note way out loud. Oh, poor Johnny, one note sang out.
So it's an even bigger contrast on that bow. Whatever that means to you, just bigger physical contrast. Because you just gave us a dessert first, which was kind of fun.
I felt comfortable now. Finally, we kind of
Yeah.
we looked at each other instead of like, hey, we're a barbershop quartet. We're
Yeah.
getting all this energy, and then we're gonna attack, and we were kind of like,
Telling a little fun story here.
we're like winking a little bit.
So play around with that.
Yeah.
It made a difference in the timbre of your voices. The
Yeah.
timbre was more unified, right on the unison. Yeah, the unison.
Yep.
Right out of it too.
When they did this, and the note that he's saying was this before, I'm like, there's differing ideas what that note is right now.
Which one?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the first things I noticed. That's
Which one?
exactly
Which
what you
one?
said. Exactly what you said.
the low unison between the three of you
Yeah.
on the word list, because they're on the octave,
Yeah.
is still. It was there a couple times, but that time it was still not quite unified. So same kind of rule. I think we let Alan lead that one because you're going to drop out.
Okay.
Yeah, and so on this, the two of you are singing into his sound, and then because you're going this, right? So I think let him lead this, and then you can come in strong on yours after that.
Okay.
You're doing great. You know that as long as you're locking in, and so listen to Alan before locking in the octave, which I think you're doing already because that octave seems pretty locked in.
I hear, but I do hear.
There's something
Shit.
off.
Yeah.
So, since this is a show-off place, let's make sure we're not diving back in too quickly. There was one breath that was just, it's like, we're showing off that he has it for days. And this is a real L&B moment. Make sure that we don't cut those breaths short just by thinking we need to add to give him more. Because he'll tell you when he's out.
Try it.
Yeah, I think that last breath, not to necessarily take too long, because we were
Right.
talking a little earlier about we want to make sure that he's not winded by the end
Correct.
of it
Yep.
too. Just don't rush that last
That's
breath.
it. It's the difference between rush
Loud,
and
even just that much will be enough to get that effect.
Johnny could only sing one note, and the note he sang was this. Sing, Johnny, sing your note way out
Yeah, so that was the difference between Rush and Wright.
Yeah.
It shows a lot more confidence.
And you did tell us when you were ready to be done, I felt the little vibrato come in, and I was
Yeah,
like,
you
okay,
know when,
now I
you know
know.
when you get to the end.
So, remember, don't lose, you're checking in, but make sure you're checking in. I mean, eyeball to eyeball every time. Because otherwise don't.
So the one concern I had when we did the whole run earlier is when I get in here and he's doing poor Johnny one, the sound standing right here, I couldn't tell if I was even singing. It was so freaking loud, and I couldn't
Full on.
tune it.
Okay.
Maybe I tuned it. I don't know.
It sounded like it sounded right to me. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure because
Yeah.
We are pulling the overtones out of your eyeballs.
I even said what? No. I'm like, did I just sing it or not? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, and it sounded right, and it sounded in tune, and you were very present.
Okay.
So that's where, going back to what we talked about last night, like learning the feeling of it and then just trusting it in those moments. Because there'll be moments where you're just like, I can't hear me at all, but the sound in the room sounds right and sounds like there's an in tune chord happening. I must be part of that. Right?
What do you guys think? You wanna take a little break and move on to the next one, or do you have to get going, Alan? Or
No, I got
a break? Do
Okay.
we make them hear you? Or do you want to do anything else on this one?
What do we wanna?
Do we want to maybe just do a little tag just to? That's my trouble spot, and I want to make sure I'm relaxed getting into that now that we're singing.
Post opera?
Yeah.
Do we wanna work through the opera one more time? Just
Wouldn't hurt my feelings.
And those spots, both on your operatic portion and then on the Rossini portion, like all of that is actually singing really well. The background stuff is happening really well and really cleanly too. I feel like you all dug into that because of how much fun it is, more than some of the other stuff. We were just like, was maybe not dug into it as much as it just like intuitively you knew what to do with it because of the fun of it. And so it's unified already because of that. Yeah.
I think, yeah, there's something to that. Aida?
Poor Johnny, one note, got in Aida, indeed a great chance to be brave.
To go back to what Mike was saying about Aida, we want to really understand, because there are going to be people who are like, "What's Aida? What even is that?" And I think you're doing a marquee thing, right? Like, I think make that bigger. If it's about the marquee, like the marquee is huge versus just this little marquee that's on the desk over here.
That's a nameplate.
Right? Yeah.
Poor Johnny, one note, got in Aida, indeed a great chance to be brave.
Better, and I think it can be more, and maybe instead of it just right now, it's exactly taking the time on it, like, oh man, because it's so expansive. Right now, it's very up over.
Okay.
So it got bigger. Huzzah!
Poor Johnny, one note, got in Aida, indeed a great chance to be brave. You gotta be brave, and he took his one note and howled like the north wind, brought forth wind that made critics rave. Oh, the critics rave, while Verdi turned round in his grave, No, they couldn't hear the big trombone. Everyone was mute, and Johnny stood alone. Oh, if only Johnny could sing like this. Poor Johnny. could sing with some energy.
Cool. Nice, that gusto move.
Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely right. Can you wait like one more beat?
Yep.
After face.
Yep.
Before starting, I want to feel that settle a little bit more.
Yep.
You in the but
Yep. Yelled willy-nilly till he was blue in the face. But what if Johnny could sing with some energy? Poor Johnny One could only sing one note, but he certainly could sing this way. Jonathan single note, singing his heart out on only a single note. It's such a tragedy that he could never sing multiple notes from the scale like me. La 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 la. It's such a tragedy that he could never sing multiple notes from the scale like me. La 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 la. But poor Johnny One Note could only sing his note, but sang it above. What a crowd! So sing Johnny One Note, sing out with gusto, just sing your heart out and sing out loud. So sing Johnny One Note, and sing your one note. Sing Johnny, sing Johnny, sing Johnny, sing Johnny, sing your magical note. Johnny, sing your
nice.
Yeah, something that starts there. Just, if you don't feel like an ass doing it, you're not doing it.
That's good.
What's that?
Him
What?
dancing.
Oh my god,
I've been dancing around.
I botched my notes, I was like,
So I should just follow my instinct, because that's what I want to do.
Coming right out from that, getting into the tag basically. So right after, at the but back in like just full on barbershop quartet mode. That section can stand a lot of that duetting work that we did earlier. The first at least 4 measures, it kind of gets cleaner after that, but especially coming out of all of the
Yep.
antics back into no, we're crushing barbershop quartet mode. Want to make sure that that section in particular is really cleaned up. It's what now it's at that like really close stage, and like everything is really close and nothing's really locked in until we get into the tag, and then it starts to really cook.
There's probably some opportunity here to take the foot off the gas more too. We have the one really identified spot, but there's some other spots in here that we will make it more playful as we come back into this at less than a 7-8. And maybe that's the word you look for. We're not looking for quieter, we're looking for more playful. Still making sure that you're riding on the voice and all the good things you do, but we'll enjoy it more.
You're really finding that spot on the last note.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It'd be natural.
You don't even know where to start yet.
Right.
Yeah, now you know what I want.
D sharp, no problem. My last note Saturday night's gonna be a high F. Let's go!
After a whole week of singing.
After a whole week of singing, and it won't be the highest note in the chord. Yeah, the beginning of Cup of Coffee, we had literally like not actually had a plan on like who's in charge of starting it. We fully know the character and all that kind of stuff. It was literally just like, how do we start? But we fixed that after the next rehearsal. It was like, that was awkward.